How's it going, everyone? Wayne the Unknown here, and welcome to a special podcast for Geekin-Out. I'm here joined by Qeeshon, also known as Boka93, and we are doing a new episode called Was It Worth Making? And for our very first episode, after many attempts of trying to get footage for it, we are going to be talking about Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which was released on November 21st, 1998.
And I was this many when it came out.
Oh god, okay, not gonna lie. When this game came out, and don't at me anyone, I literally thought this was for the PlayStation 1.
Not even kidding. I can vouch for that claim. I've had people say that there have been many Nintendo games on other consoles, and I'm like, that makes zero sense.
And this one you're playing is the HD version, if I'm not mistaken, that was released for the 3DS, right?
Yeah, it's supposedly a quote-unquote remake, not a remaster. Because usually if it was a remaster, because yeah, the graphics have been improved, but most remasters, they kind of tend to prefer to their own, they
Uh,
usually tend to stay at their own platform base, but
uh,
adapting a cult classic like this to a handheld system was pretty innovative.
I mean, there were other handheld Legend of Zelda games, but this is like those who don't own, those who are too young or not even born yet to own a Nintendo 64 got the opportunity to play this. Like, I own this game for the 3DS as well. I have never played it, but I remember as a kid watching it be played because my mom's boyfriend at the time's brother used to work for Blockbuster back when they were still, were pushing out Nintendo 64 games.
Before Netflix came in and kicked their ass.
Yeah. So if you're ready to show me some of your gameplay that we've been trying to, like, for the past 5 minutes to record before that all went to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, let's get this thing going, because
Oh, finally! No static grainy effects. Backflip.
yeah, so yeah, just a quick point of reference to everyone listening. So before we even started, I was literally trying to set this thing up with a current build of the latest version of the randomizer for the 3DS. And suffice to say, it was not really working so well.
Before we can even record, Link's tunic was just looked god awful. And even when you were even when Hyrule Castle, when you were trying to take out the Master Sword, when you grew to an adult, like his
Yeah, the
like
tunic was still
like
just as bad.
like the when you're trying to switch to the red, the blue tunic, it just had that staticky discoloration effect. It just did not
Yeah, I
want.
want to say that.
It didn't want to read
Yeah, I
the
want
green
to.
really well.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with the build or the current version of Citra that I'm running.
Okay, was it me or was Navi like green for a minute?
Yeah, so what I was just doing just a second ago was the little rocks that were before the entrance to this little crawl space
Mm-hmm.
was if you target them and if you like back away from them to a certain point and do like a backflip, you'll collect a 5-piece rupee from one of them and then another piece
Oh,
rupee from the other.
nice. So this is before you get. So have you already got the ocarina from your friend with the green hair whose name I can't remember?
Saria. Yeah, no. So the beauty of the randomizers is oh, oops.
The beauty of the
Oh
Red
yeah.
Horizon. What now?
So yeah, the beauty of the randomizers is that pretty much with randomizers you can set the settings so that you don't get the ocarina until like either later in the game or like if you find it in a dungeon when you're really supposed to get it from her
Hmm.
and just because I know it's bound to happen.
So like this randomizer, you can pick whatever level you can go to, or
So with the randomizer settings, it doesn't limit to what you can do. Well, it does limit to what you can do officially,
Okay.
but let's say if I wanted to leave the forest right now, I could.
And go to the
But usually,
Deku tree and everything.
oh yeah, because little punk bitch boy isn't standing in front of me. That's why I like to call him Meadow, is his real name.
Mm.
So yeah,
Gold
that's a,
Skulltula.
yep, one
What?
of many.
I just can't. I just can't imagine just being some random person and next thing. Wait, how'd you get? I thought you get. I thought you don't get that till like later.
Or that.
What? Okay, so those who are watching this, I'm. What the fuck?
Kind of paint a picture. What just happened was I opened the chests in Midow's house, the 4 chests that you can loot, and the rewards I got was a Skulltula token,
A Hylian
a five
shield
piece, yeah, the Hylian shield, a
and
5 piece rupee,
a Gorgon bracer.
And the Goron bracelet that you get later in the game.
Kind of like cheating the game in a sense.
Yeah, but it is cool that with the logic settings though, it does prohibit me from like it makes the game so that I can't progress any further unless I do something specifically that I need to do in order to find what it is that I need to progress.
Like going to the Deco tree and going inside and everything.
Yeah. Get this bit out of the way.
So I honestly think when this game came out, I honestly thought, what is this? And this was also the first time I ever heard of Nintendo as well.
Yeah,
So
I think my oldest I feel like my oldest memory recollection of having anything Nintendo related was the old NES, and this was when I was literally just out of my diapers.
I was about 4 years old when this game came out. Wow. Holy crap, yeah. I was 4 years old when this game came out. Oh shit, man. Like you got a Deku stick. Just I honestly think, the one thing I like vaguely remember is like Lon Lon Ranch when you're doing that race with that one guy whose name I can't remember.
Oh, Ingo?
Yeah, he has like the weird looking mustache.
Yeah, and it's funny because one of the things relating to the characters from that ranch, the ranch owner and him, is that I think it's pretty obvious that uh, the creator of The Legend of Zelda threw in the Easter egg of the Super
I
Mario
mean,
Brothers
brothers.
because yeah, because in the original N64 version, when you go to the castle to talk to Zelda, in one of the windows, you actually see like a picture of them.
So, are there no cutscenes to this game? To the when you're playing?
Yeah. So what the randomizer does is that usually there are cutscenes. Like, when I approach the Deku Tree, I'd talk to him, and then he'd open his mouth to let me inside.
Right.
Uh, Trying to keep it as PG as possible,
I get what you're
but yeah,
saying. So it
but yeah, a good
basically
amount of the
it skips out like a good majority of like certain cutscenes.
yep. And right now, we just got a taste of one of the many things that happens is because the randomizer for the 3DS emulator is still kind of funky.
It's kind of like is very cattywampus. I can see that. Oh, there we go. We're back inside the Deco tree.
But yeah, I try to remember to safety save and save state as possible.
Yeah, when you're telling me like you were trying to play this game, I thought it was like the actual. I mean, I'm not like saying harping on the randomizer because I think that's kind of cool for those. So about this randomizer, like I imagine, like from what I've seen, there's a lot of bugs.
Yeah, and because the 3DS version is still kind of in its like it's in 2.0 right now, which they introduced shop sanity, which is half the shop items gets randomized with items like say a key to a temple or a bomb bag or pretty much any of the key items that you need in the long run.
Gotcha.
Like for example, the Goron bracelet that I got from the chest earlier, that's excuse me, that's a potential item that gets put in the loot pool.
And if I was to play like the regular 3DS version, I'd be seeing all the cutscenes and everything, and I wouldn't be able to do what you're doing. Okay,
Yeah,
here's a cutscene now.
well, that's just more of a dialogue. When
Okay,
I think of when I think of the cutscenes, I think of more like the
when Zelda's
cinematic.
when like Zelda's getting kidnapped by Ganon.
Oh yeah, when she's fleeing the castle on the
Mm,
horse. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good one. It's funny when I actually saw that cutscene, I was literally laughing my ass off because so we've all played the game before. To those that know that we know that she throws the Ocarina of Time and it lands in the moat, but for me, because randomizer, she threw a giant rupee, and the second I saw it fly, I was just literally cracking up. I just could not breathe because it was that funny. And then,
Oh, I
of
hate those
course, there's
things.
yeah, fun fact, you can climb past them. You just gotta go it nice and slow.
So I would be able to. So say if I was to play the original or like the actual 3DS version, I'd be able to go past them.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the
so the
randomizer,
okay, so
the
the rent.
randomizer settings doesn't really change these guys.
Oh god, I fucking hate those things. So what are those things called again?
They're Skulltulas.
Oh, so that's the mat that Skulltula mat. Okay,
Yeah, the gold Skulltulas are kind of different from those ones, but not too different in a way. Save,
okay.
save.
Now isn't like a Skulltula boss?
Yeah, the boss for the Deku Tree is Goma, which is she's like an arachnid type of monster.
Okay,
Not necessarily a Skulltula, but
okay, gotcha. Oh god, those things look so goddamn ugly. Those things look so ugly and just so creepy at the same time. No joke.
it's like you want to talk about nightmare fuel. Try staring at the Great Fairies on the N64 version. That's nightmare fuel.
The Great Fairies?
So yeah, if you've ever been around enough to know, and I'm not saying that you haven't, but to anyone that's been around enough to know the whole funny thing about the Great Fairies from not just Ocarina of Time, but Majora's Mask is that at the time N64 graphics weren't really the greatest.
Oh god, no, but neither. Oh. uh, I feel like when on that topic of N64 graphics, I feel like they were definitely a lot more scarier.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Man.
I actually know the scariest thing for either graphics comparison is the a creature called the Dead Hand, which is
Whee!
oh man, if I could. So basically, what it is it's a creature that you fight in two places: the bottom of the well, we get the Lens of Truth, and the Shadow Temple, we get the hover boots. So when you enter the area that you have to fight it, there's going to be four arms literally just sticking up out of the ground.
Oh,
which
jeez.
are its arms, believe it or not. And the only way to get it to show up is to be captured, but you can get out of it easily.
Gotcha. I'm just so glad now that you're recording, it doesn't show that god awful grain effect on his tunic. Oh, it's
Yeah,
just
no.
so awful.
Yeah, I knew I had to revert back to, oh, hey, there's the hammer.
Megaton Hammer.
All right. And because I lack slingshot, and as much as I would love to attempt B1 skip, I am going to leave.
Wait, I thought you have to fight the boss in this.
So going back to the randomizer settings, so I can set it so that I can. I remember mentioning that I set it so I can leave the forest, so I don't have to fight the boss.
Okay.
But usually when it comes back to like finding like either the spiritual stone that I need from this place or that I get from this place or the medallion or whatever, I will
Okay.
have to come back eventually.
Okay, so the one thing I think I have to say, for those who have actually played this game and beat it, both on the N64 and the 3DS, I feel like this version would be good for you. Like good for those who like those veteran players. But if you've never played this game before, I highly recommend if you
Just playing
haven't.
the base game.
Oh yeah, playing the normal game because technically I feel like, and I'm gonna say this with every confidence I have, don't play this game unless you haven't played the original. Like this, don't play this version unless you played like the original.
Yeah.
Because you'll be missing a lot of key plots and points that will help you progress in the game. This is kind of like back in the day when you would put cheats in a game.
It's like basically playing around with Game Shark, except now rather than like just various cheat codes, it's basically saying, "Hey, you played through the base game. We know what you can do. Why not tweak the game a bit so that way it's different? Still the same
Oh hey,
game,
look
but
it. There's oh god, what's his name?
Skull Kid."
I don't know he was in this game. What?
Yeah, basically the Skull Kids, they basically come from this game, or I think they come from a different one of the predecessors, but yeah, you meet them in this one, and then in Majora's Mask, they give him a more prominent role.
Okay,
Oh,
so what are those creatures called?
oh, the scrub that I just talked to.
Yeah.
So it's a business scrub, which is they're the same, like they're similar to the Deku scrubs that I was dealing with inside the Deku tree,
And then same
except
with and that's the Skull Kid we meet in Majora's Mask, right?
yeah, technically you meet him here, and then
Well, yeah,
in the
because Majora's Mask takes place like months or like a year later after this game when Link's still like young.
oh yeah.
Oh god. And now this would be the first game to introduce adult Link, correct?
Technically no, because from what I understood in terms of keeping up with like the timeline lore and stuff, I want to say Link to the Past was because Link to the Past is where it first introduced the Master Sword. So I want to think that's the game where it first introduces adult Link. But I will say that Ocarina of Time, it really like takes that whole perspective and gives new light
Oh
to the
yeah.
whole to the whole part or
Oh,
the adult part of his life.
oh yeah, no, I can't like I really can't argue with that. Oh man. This is like definitely like a nostalgia fill. Secret Forest. Oh god.
Oh yeah, the puppers.
God, that looks like I just like the fact that some of the stuff in the game like kind of almost is what you see in Twilight Princess. Especially that
Yeah,
dog
I
you
can
just
see.
fought. Especially that dog you just fought.
Oh yeah, the Wolfos. Yeah.
Top down view. Good old classic Legend of Zelda from the NES era.
You know,
Aw.
I'd never thought about that until now. It actually does make sense.
You get, and this was actually in the original game too, right? This isn't just part of the randomizer. This is like what was actually in the game.
Oh yeah, no, everything I'm doing right now is standard.
Okay. I
Like
just
essentially the rand. Oh, go ahead.
no, sorry. You go ahead first.
But yeah, essentially what the randomizer does, it doesn't change anything from the base game in terms of the like general layout or the general like way of things. So yeah, like the Deku Scrubs, the Kokiri, the Gorons, and all them. It's like they're still in their same places. It's just that with the randomizer, it basically affects the items that you get in the game. So like
Oh, and
anything.
oh, okay. You're jumping over the maze too.
Oh yeah, jump it back over.
Nice.
Yeah, and I would have gone to the very end of the section or the of the meadow, but I don't have to yet.
Nice. And like when you said we were like you were gonna play the game, I thought like you were like you're like gonna play like the original. Like I'm not complaining that you're playing the randomizer, because it's like again this podcast is more related to talk about was this game worth making, and looking at it now, I can say it really was for the time. Like this is like I feel like this was like one of Nintendo's biggest games for the '90s, like for the late '90s.
Yeah, it was this, and Super Mario 64 was a major sell.
Oh yeah.
And I think Banjo-Kazooie was around at the time also. That was
Uh
another good one.
yes, like all those games for this era, like this I feel like it was games like Mario 64 and what is that big plant in the back? I just saw it's like red and blue.
Yeah, I have no idea what it's called. I do not know for the life of me. I just know that they're annoying and
And you're going back
they
and you're going
spawn.
and you're going backwards.
So yeah, the reason I'm doing this is because I've watched a lot of speedrunning videos about how to that pretty much play the randomized version of the N64 version.
Okay, I see what you're doing. Oh, you got a rupee.
Yeah, and the N64 version, even if you do it through the emulator, you can. Well, and I also feel like with the N64 version, that kind of excels where this one doesn't.
The guard's just
Right.
like, okay, he's just no, I'm just gonna stand here. I'm not gonna do anything. It's like
Yeah, no, the guard really does. The
some
guard
ran-
really doesn't give a shit.
some random kid like I remember like seeing a meme of like Link going into like someone's house and just smashing pots and like the family's just freaking out.
Yeah, it's pretty much the long-standing staple of the
Oh,
Ocarina of
so
Time
good.
franchise.
So
Oh
you're
yeah,
now in the market.
yeah, and yeah, I was gonna say I'm trying to remember. Hey, look, it's my farm waifu.
Now, what's her name again?
Oh, that's Milan.
Wasn't she like in the other previous ones too?
I don't remember, or I don't know if she was in any of the
God,
older Legend of Zelda games.
damn! Look at them lips.
Oh yeah, them thick lips.
Them thick meaty lips. What that mouth do though? Dude, nice shot.
I will say it's not easy trying to do the
Well,
shooting games
just
without the gyro controls.
just imagine trying to play this on an N64 controller, not especially with the M-shaped and then the center thumbstick.
Oh yeah, no. It has the lens of truth.
Now, can you get this? Can you get the Lens of Truth earlier in the game to like the original version?
So in the base game, to get the lens of truth, you have to. It actually requires you to go to adult, and then do the whole Forest Temple bit, and then get the song from Sheik so that you can go back as a child. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, in the base game, there's a lot of hoops you gotta jump through to be able to access it. primarily, one thing you do need to do though is learn the Song of Storms, which is
Where
arguably the biggest Legend of Zelda. Uh, I'm trying to
and you
remember the
have to go
word.
like you have to go in the graveyard and everything. Oh, that laugh.
Paradox, that's it.
Huh?
So
Uh,
the Song of Storms that you get in this game is basically a giant paradox where it's you don't know it as a kid. You can't learn it as a kid, but you can play it to the guy in the windmill as a kid. But it makes no sense because when you talk to him as an adult, he's angry for what reason? He says that a kid with an ocarina played a strange song, and of course the famous dialogue quote, "I'll never forget this song," and then plays the song. So
is that
technically
a
you
wait?
learned it.
Is she wait? I hear Aponya's song.
Oh yeah, she sings.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck's that coming from? Yeah.
Yeah, she sings outside the castle at night, as well as at the ranch at night when she's by herself.
Okay.
Well, she sings at the ranch regardless, whether it's daytime or nighttime, but usually
Okay.
during the daytime it has the background music playing too, so.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey, but again, yeah, again, for those who are watching, this isn't like the actual game. This is more.
Richard! Sorry.
You got a piece of a heart. You got Richard's heart. But yeah, again, for those who are watching, this isn't like actually the actual game, as you said. This is a randomizer where it's just more of just showing you what you can do if you decide to play this game. But again, if you've never played this game, play the original, because you're missing out. Is he wearing shorts? Yeah, dude, never misses leg day.
That's a fact. Alright. Save and quit. Go to main menu.
Oh, I'm so glad not to see that goddamn static.
Yeah, again, I feel like I have to tweak the current build of the randomizer to see what it is.
Backflip. So, okay, so what are you doing now?
So, pretty much from watching the speedrunner videos, basically it's trying to take account of what to do available in one area and then moving on to the next.
Okay.
So I pretty much done everything here in the forest, including that Skulltula token at night.
Nice.
So now I'm going to head over to Kakariko, and hopefully, if I can beat the nature of time, I can get there while it's still nighttime so I can get some of the Skulltula tokens.
Hyrule Field. So apparently you run faster backwards. Oh, what the hell is that thing?
Oh yeah, the Stalfos,
Okay.
or the Stall Children, yeah. Fun fact, if you kill enough of them, you spawn bigger ones.
Of course you do. Now is that like, and also in the original too, or just this one?
It's also in the base game, and actually,
Oh god, those things look ugly.
so yeah, the base game, if you kill enough of the Stall Children, you'll spawn a bigger one that gives you like a big rupee. Oh
Okay.
no.
It's
And the same
daytime.
thing. Yeah, and the same thing happens with the Gways, like those little bird creatures that fly around.
Yeah, too late. Kakariko Village.
No, it's technically still nighttime, even though.
I remember seeing oh god, well, it was someone used an Unreal Engine and gave Kakariko Village a modern up graphic update, and it looked so wonderful.
Yeah, I know. It's like it amazes me as to how much people are willing to put in the effort just to make something look ecstatic. And it's like we're here sitting. It's like we're just sitting here saying or thinking, Nintendo, hire these people.
But also at the same time, I remember it's like seeing that, and Nintendo asked them basically to take it down. Like,
Yeah, it's like Nintendo is really touchy of their IP. And I get it, it's like you don't want too many people thinking they can they can just make a game that's already been made, but make it look 10 times better.
oh yeah, no, definitely. Oh, careful. So are those things in the? So is that that forgot whatever camera those things are called? Is that randomizer or is that like actually in game?
So the gold Skulltula tokens, the one I just killed,
Mm-hmm.
it was basically Bolero of Fire. So in terms of the locations of the Skulltulas, they're by default. But with the randomizer, what they give out is completely random. So the literally other one, so this one was vanilla, but the other one that I just killed, it gave me a song, a warp song,
Mm-hmm.
and it basically applies to just about all the
House
items that I
of
need.
House of
That's
Skulltula.
Skulltula. Yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing the meme of this. We have to save the family from the Skulltula curse. I remember like seeing the memes like the Link goes to the house and saying the guy says, "Oh, my family's cursed and everything." Link says he's gonna help save him, and he just lights the house on fire. And you just see Link's just eyes and face, just like, "What have I done?" If I can find a picture of that, I'm like, it's hilarious. Damn, he is strong boy.
Well, the bracelet does help a little, but
Song of
oh hey, we were
Storms.
just talking about that.
No, I know in the game, you can get that early in the game, right? Or do you have to like actually wait till you're older to get that?
So, like I said, with the Song of Storms, it's a paradox. But yeah, basically the Song of Storms, it's a paradox to which it's a song that you can learn, but you don't learn it as an adult, but the game thinks that you've played it before as a child,
Oh, this game.
which,
Oh, wait. So the randomizer thinks you have.
well, no, that's the base game.
Oh, okay.
The fact that I pulled it out of that chest was from the randomizer, but oh yeah, that's
Oh, whoa. Hidden wall.
aha. Okay, I don't have to worry about that one.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Skyrim. When you're in Whiterun, I think it is. And my brother showed me this neat little glitch. If you jump over the wall while in Whiterun, you can go underneath the forge guy's shop and take everything out of his chest and not have to pay for it.
Yeah, I would imagine a game like Skyrim would have environmental oversights that you can exploit.
Oh yeah, no, I thought that was cool. My brother showed me that. I mean, yeah, yeah, you have to go through a bunch of rocks and everything, and
But yeah, being able to do what I just did with that box in the graveyard,
mm-hmm.
especially with the randomizer, it is beneficial because that way you can determine whether or not if it basically helps determine whether or not if I need to save some magic beans for the little plant that's right there, or the patch of soil. Uh,
Froze again.
yeah,
Uh,
right now I'm trying to remember how far I got. I
so
mean, about to fall
what
completely back.
emulator did you use for this one?
So for this one, it's Citra, the only 3DS emulator that I have, or that's capable of running it. So, and back to the Kakariko I go.
Yeet. Do a flip.
But yeah, ever since I found out that the 3DS emulator was a thing, pretty
You
much my biggest
you
concern was,
you jumped on it right away.
well, and I think at the time I had my old gaming laptop, and I was just kind of more fixated on hoping to see if I can get it to run efficiently.
I imagine at first it wasn't easy to do so.
I mean, it ran. It didn't run smooth, but at least it ran optimally.
Hey, it's better than not running at all. At least those things are slow.
Yeah, I do kind of frown upon that they made Kid Link a lot faster than Adult Link, but it makes sense though. It's like he's smaller and more agile, so
He's like older. Now, how old would you say Link is when he's a kid? Like what, 10, 8?
well, you think of it, you travel in time 7 years, you become an adult in those 7 years, so I would say that he would have to be either 10, if not 11.
So then he's like
Or,
18, 17 when he's older.
yeah, because technically the legal age for an adult is 18.
Okay, so he's probably like,
I'd
yeah,
say he's about 11, give or take.
okay.
I'm sure there's books that that tell me otherwise, and
Oh,
that's whatever.
I'm sure there is. Oh man, this is like still. I think knowing that there's like something like this again. Since I've never fully finished the game, I probably wouldn't play this version. And if open world games have taught me anything, especially games like Jade Empire, is games like this and that are only worth playing once because I just don't want to go through all that crap. Because I'm the kind of person that like tries to find everything when I can.
So in other words, you're a completionist on the first attempt, and then afterwards, you just don't want to go through it all again.
Well, I mean, like, so when I played The Witcher, tried to do every I did like, I did like the main quest, and then I did the side quests that have an effect on the main story. I should say.
That makes sense.
Like, it just depends on the game, you know. Oh man, just so real quick. What are some of like the biggest bugs and faults you found with the randomizer, aside from what we saw earlier before we were recording?
Um, I want to say, and I'm not sure if it's related to the randomizer at all, but I want to think that because with the 3DS randomizer, or the randomizer for the 3DS version is still in its is still of a work in progress. I mean, the fact that I save every like 5 minutes, give or take, because the game decides to just freeze for no reason or whatever.
Like we've seen like for like the past couple times.
Oh yeah, that was a technological error that again I'd have to look again that I can look into to see if I can't fix. That
Gotcha.
alone is probably the only one, but as far as everything else goes, honestly, my biggest, I would say, complaint would have to be the game freezing on random. But again, but again, I feel like that's either not related to the randomizer at all, and the fact that because I'm playing on a emulator, that it could do that.
Now, um, with the randomizer, what are the boss fights like? For example, when you fight Ganon towards the end, like what are some of the advantages for that?
So when it comes to the boss fights, pretty much everything is rudimentary where the boss fights aren't changed. The only things that are changed is the reward that it gives you, like essentially the heart container that you would get from the boss fight is different. So if I were to fight Goma the first boss in the Deku Tree, instead of giving me a heart piece for killing the boss, it would give me, I don't know, say the hook shot or a bomb bag.
Okay. Oh no. Chicken, don't kill it.
Yeah, I did that once by accident, and I wasn't even trying to do it.
Okay, why do people look different now in Kakariko Village?
Because of the
That is a big afro. Look at me, I'm running.
dude. It's funny. One of the characters in the Breath of the Wild sports that same haircut.
Do you think it's just
It's,
for do you think it's for nostalgia purposes?
well, and I'm also thinking that it's not even an afro, but it's like a one big old bowl cut. Missed.
You like missed it by that much. I just find it funny. Like I'm kind of curious what made Nintendo decide to say, you know what we should do? Make a chicken that if you kill it, you get attacked by an army of chickens.
Probably just some random stuff to throw in the game just to mix it up a bit.
Oh man. Now, can you climb that windmill?
You can, but you need to be adult and have the hook shot.
Of
Or
course.
no, the long shot. I mean, there's nothing really special about it. It's just a viewpoint of the windmill when you're up there. That's about it.
Gotcha. You know, just for the hell of it, I should say you should attack a Kakua right now, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, I'll do that here in just a sec. I actually need it to get into the cow
Oh
house.
right, yeah, yeah. If you grab him, you can fly.
But yeah, no, ever since I watched speedrunning videos of the randomizers, like I owe a major credit to them because they've showed me things that I didn't even know about at first, and if I
Re-
practice enough, I can do them. Like earlier, I mentioned B1 skip in Deku Tree, which is once you go down the hole in the main floor area, you can basically do a skip that bypasses the need to have to go through the whole general area of the dungeon. Ooh, bomb juice.
what? Bombchu? What is that?
A very important thing that I need.
Huh? There's the Triforce and Ocarina.
Yep, just sitting up there mocking me.
All right. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I know.
Thanks for finding your cuckoos. You only gave me a social
Skulltula,
token
nice.
for it.
Yeah, I mean, just because I've never seen someone like I've always seen pictures and everything, but I've never seen someone attack a Kakua like in person. So I'm kind of curious what happens, just because I want a good laugh. Uh oh. Charge! Oh god damn. Okay, holy crap.
Mistakes were made.
Oh man, it was worth it though. Um.
Yeah, I guess. All right, up to the river.
We got probably like a couple more minutes here. Anything else you like to, aside from getting your ass handed to you by a bunch of chickens?
Any last comments that I want to throw in?
Yeah, like just about the randomizer itself. Like what else is different from the original game?
So, if I could pro con the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are your still just? I know usually people start with the pros, but let's start with the cons first.
So the cons, and it's actually funny because I did this my first playthrough attempt was One of the options is that it gives you the choice to randomize the Kokiri sword. Uh, on the 3DS, if you're playing it via emulator or through the actual 3DS itself, which you can, and I've seen it, don't randomize it because that was my mistake. And I burned through so many Deku sticks try to just to try to get around it.
Uh, Pros.
Pros of the randomizers is that it's a good change of pace if you played through the base game already, or if you played through it extensionally that you just want to try something different.
Okay. I mean, from what I've seen here, like almost the past hour, I want to say it's been that I honestly like. Again, we talked about if you want to see if you play the original game, whether it be on the 3DS or the Nintendo 64,
Go away. Sorry.
either one. I think this would be a good, especially like for speedrunners who just want to get collect stuff right away and then just get to the final boss. Because I feel like this randomizer is kind of just like a speed run without trying too hard for speed running.
Yeah, it does feel like that, and especially well on the 3DS version. I mean, it's very different from speedruns because anyone can speedrun the N64 version with the various simulators that you can use to play it. And that's all fine and dandy, but on the 3DS it's a lot harder because like all the various like tricks and such, like the infinite stick glitch. I mean, that's a lot harder to do on the 3DS version than it would be to do on the N64 one because I would think it requires a lot more inputs and a lot better timing to do said inputs. So,
Gotcha. So, original Legend of Zelda game that came out in 1998. Would you say it was worth making?
oh yeah, for sure. Because I feel like without that, we wouldn't have gotten Majora's Mask. We wouldn't have gotten a
Breath of the
remake.
Wild.
Yeah, in Breath of the Wild, we wouldn't have even gotten the remakes of this game and Majora's Mask. And we also wouldn't even get a sequel to Breath of the Wild as well.
That's true. That's right. That's coming eventually soon. Now, would you say this randomizer? Would you say it was worth making?
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's funny because that my first let's get this guy real quick. That my first experience with the randomizer was with the N64 version.
Oh, so you play? So there's an N64 version of the randomizer too.
Yeah, but the emulator that it requires to use it or to run it is pretty awful.
A lot worse than this one that from what we saw earlier before recording.
I mean, to be fair, again, that was basically a technological error that either I did on my part or something with the randomizer settings that, again, I can change. That I'd be willing to change and look into to see what needs tweaking.
And
But yeah, for the N64 version, the emulators that are suitable to use it would be BizHawk or EmuHawk. It's janky, but it's pretty much the it's pretty much the standard. Oh,
uh, well, I guess that should do it.
yeah, just end with a title screen.
Again though, I mean, honestly think this is cool, especially for those who like want to relive this game but not want to have to go through all that just time and effort. Again, I would not really recommend um
Damn it.
I would not recommend this to new time players of the game who want to know the story. So yeah, no. Um
Yeah, for
I
first timers, definitely play the base game because it does give you that like depth of field in terms of understanding the story and how things come about.
Oh
And
no,
then
I
for
wholeheartedly,
veterans that
I
go
wholeheartedly
ahead.
agree.
Yeah, and for us veterans, definitely give the randomizers a go because I mean they're like they have a website for the N64 version and they have like different challenge seeds that you can do, speed run race seeds that you can run with other people. Like it's crazy.
I think that'd actually be pretty cool if you and a buddy got together or something, or just two friends in general got together and see who can get to the end real fast to play the game and know what to do.
Yeah, I remember doing a multi-world, which is the equivalent of doing a race. But
Nice.
the difference is that because you both play in one, well, with okay, so how multi-world works is that you both have the same randomizer seed, the same randomizer, but you have your own separate like universe in which everything you find in your universe can either be yours or get sent to the other player, and vice versa.
Okay,
And then
kind of like kind of co-op, not co-op. Oh god, what was it? When you and your buddy could hook up the same system to two TV link. God,
System Link.
thank you. I think that's it. Um, yeah, no, again, Qeeshon, thank you for showing me, the this randomizer for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Uh,
Yeah, thanks for letting me be able to show it to you. And I actually was tempted on just using the N64 version, but I actually have grown attached to the 3DS one more, especially because with the change, it's like with the work that's being done on the 3DS version of the randomizer, it's like I honestly like when I first saw the new changes that they brought in, I was just giddy.
I don't blame you. I mean, watching it like for like a good almost hour was pretty worthwhile in my opinion. Like I have to say personally, yes, I honestly do think that the originals, like the Nintendo 64 and the 3DS version, were definitely worth making. And also, I think this randomizer, yeah, it has a few bugs here and there, but that's what you get with any emulator. It's gonna be something's just not gonna um, go right, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's always a catch, and especially when it comes to emulators, it's like it's not always the 100% like feel
Oh no,
that you would
definitely,
get on an actual console, but I mean it does its job where it counts.
oh yeah,
Anything else I can
definitely. Well, again, Keyshawn, thank you for taking your time to show this game, despite some of the defects of him earlier.
despite some of the setbacks that we were having before
Before, oh
we
yeah,
started.
oh yeah, no. I think that ought to do it. Again, thank you for watching this new series for Geeking Out called Was It Worth Making? Again, Keyshawn, thank you for coming.
Yep. Peace and chicken grease.
Until next time, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Thank you for watching.